Alejandro Garnacho's recent remarks, delivered before the Chelsea-Arsenal Carabao Cup semi-finals second leg, echoed with a distinct challenge. He asserted that if his former club, Manchester United, a team he seemingly aimed to mock for releasing him, could achieve victory, then his current side, Chelsea, was certainly capable. Yet this bold proclamation was followed by a string of underwhelming displays. Indeed, Garnacho's overall demeanor and conduct have frequently drawn criticism, extending beyond his on-pitch contributions. Many observers point to an apparent self-importance reminiscent of Cristiano Ronaldo, combined with the explosive speed of an Adama Traoré, but a scoring record more akin to a less prolific winger like Dan James. His struggles were starkly evident in Chelsea's most crucial fixture of the season. Benched for the Carabao Cup semi-final, he was introduced only in the 75th minute. With less than a quarter hour to make an impact, he managed merely 6 touches, completed no dribbles, and created 0 scoring opportunities. Chelsea ultimately succumbed to a 4-2 aggregate defeat. This disappointing showing wasn't even the nadir of his week. Days prior, against West Ham, Garnacho delivered a performance so poor that football pundit Gary Neville described it as awkward, very horrible. His own supporters voiced their displeasure, booing him off at halftime. In just 45 minutes, he surrendered possession a staggering 12 times, and both West Ham goals originated from his flank, highlighting defensive vulnerabilities. Adding to the concern, his season statistics in 15 Premier League appearances for a club with title aspirations are deeply concerning. A solitary goal and 3 assists. For a player acquired for $40 million, these figures are not merely disappointing, they are frankly embarrassing. How did a talent once hailed as a future superstar, a Puskás Award winner and Copa America champion, find himself at 22 years old becoming a cautionary tale? Garnacho's issue was never a deficit of skill. Rather, it was his premature conviction about what that talent had already entitled him to. There was a period when Manchester United fans genuinely believed they had unearthed their next generational talent. His game was adorned with mesmerizing stepovers, audacious flicks, and goals that defied belief. He even executed a bicycle kick so flawless it earned him the prestigious Puskás Award. Such was his raw ability that Argentina fast-tracked him into first-team training at just 17. Garnacho wasn't just gifted, he was a viral sensation before the concept truly exploded. During the 2022 FA Youth Cup, he embarked on a breathtaking solo run from the edge of his own penalty area, culminating in a spectacular goal. This wasn't a one-off, it became a recurring theme. 3 months later, he netted twice in the FA Youth Cup final against Nottingham Forest, securing United's first Youth Cup since 2011, and earning him the Jimmy Murphy Young Player of the Year award. The scouts' judgment was sound. The excitement was well-founded. Before joining United, Garnacho spent 5 years in Atletico Madrid's esteemed academy, where he was known as the Jewel. Both Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund pursued him, but United secured his signature for a modest $420,000. His senior debut arrived on April 28, 2022, in a 1-1 draw against Chelsea. By October, Erik ten Hag had granted him his first start in a 3-0 Europa League victory over Sheriff Tiraspol, praising his commitment and resilience. Then came November 3, 2022, at Old Trafford against Real Sociedad. Garnacho started, and his idol, Cristiano Ronaldo, whose celebration he had mimicked since childhood, provided a through ball. Garnacho clinically finished, marking his inaugural senior goal. It felt like a symbolic transfer of power. He commemorated the moment on Instagram. 18 years and 125 days dreaming of this moment. Thanks, idol. At this juncture, his career trajectory seemed perfectly aligned. He was learning from Ronaldo, gaining Ten Hag's trust, and scoring pivotal goals, including a late winner against Fulham and an assist for Rashford in the Manchester Derby. His ascent appeared unstoppable. November 26, 2023, brought another iconic moment at Goodison Park against Everton. Facing the same team he had scored that incredible solo youth goal against, Garnacho received a deep cross from Dalot. Adjusting his body midair, he unleashed an overhead kick that rocketed past Jordan Pickford. Gary Neville, commentating live, was left speechless by what he called one of the great goals. It swept up Premier League Goal of the Month, Goal of the Season, and ultimately the FIFA Puskás Award, the very accolade Ronaldo had won in 2009 for his thunderous strike against Porto. Garnacho was now literally treading in Ronaldo's footsteps. Same awards, same club, same celebration, same self-assurance. However, this is precisely where the issues began. Somewhere between that magnificent bicycle kick and the present, Garnacho ceased striving to become Ronaldo and started believing he already was. While the goals continued, braces against Aston Villa, West Ham, and Chelsea, making him the first teenager since Michael Owen in 1998 and 99 to achieve multiple braces in 3 Premier League matches, and he even scored in the FA Cup final against Manchester City and won the Copa America with Argentina. A different reality was unfolding behind the scenes. The cracks were forming, and one man, Ruben Amorim, saw it before anyone else. Amorim's arrival at Manchester United in November 2024 quickly exposed what fans had overlooked. He recognized Garnacho's undeniable talent, but also observed the accompanying problematic traits. In December 2024, barely a month into the season, Amorim made a shocking decision. He omitted both Marcus Rashford and Garnacho entirely from the squad for the Manchester Derby, the season's biggest game. When pressed for an explanation, Amorim offered no excuses. He emphasized that it wasn't merely a disciplinary matter but a question of upholding rigorous standards. He stated, "For me, it is important. The performance in training, the performance in game, the way you dress, the way you eat, the way you engage with the teammates, the way you push your teammates. Everything is important in our context in the beginning of sending when we want to change a lot of things. When people in our club are losing their jobs, we have to put the standards really high." He was asserting that Garnacho was not meeting these elevated expectations. United triumphed 2-1 without them, sending an unequivocal message. No individual is greater than the collective. Garnacho rejoined the squad the following week, and unlike Rashford, who remained ostracized and relegated to the infamous bomb squad, he initially seemed to respond positively, regaining starts and contributing. Yet, this improvement proved fleeting. On May 21, 2025, for the Europa League final against Tottenham in Bilbao, Amorim made another controversial decision. He benched Garnacho, despite the player's consistent involvement in every knockout game, 15 appearances, and 5 goal contributions, making him United's most dangerous attacker in the competition. Hours before kickoff, Garnacho posted celebratory images from previous cup finals on Instagram, without captions, implying his frustration. His brother Roberto was more explicit, writing about Garnacho working as no one else, helping every round, coming from 2 goals in the last 2 finals just to be put on the bench for 19 minutes and get thrown under the bus. During warm-ups, Garnacho was observed chatting with Tottenham's Sergio Reguilón while still in his suit, joining his teammates' exercises 10 minutes late. He eventually entered the game in the 71st minute, but United lost 1-0, concluding their worst season since 1974. Post-match, Garnacho's frustration boiled over. He described the season as a piece of and expressed bewilderment at his limited playing time in the final, despite his contributions in earlier rounds. When questioned about his future, he admitted the final, coupled with the club's overall situation, would influence his decision, stating he would enjoy the summer and see what happens. The next day, in a team meeting, Amorim directly addressed Garnacho, delivering 12 words that effectively sealed his Manchester United career. "You better pray that you can find a club to sign you." Amorim had made an example of him. Within weeks, Garnacho joined the bomb squad, a group of players, including Rashford, Sancho, and Antony, whom the club sought to offload. The irony was palpable. The young talent who dreamed of emulating Ronaldo was now being shipped out of the very club Ronaldo had departed under a cloud. Amorim was not alone in his observations. Casemiro was frequently seen admonishing Garnacho to track back. Furthermore, there were moments that raised questions about his effort, such as 3 missed passes in 10 seconds against Chelsea, or a widely mocked instance against West Ham, where he lost possession without pressure. The talent was undeniable, but so was the attitude. Amorim had witnessed enough. Garnacho's lifelong idolization of Cristiano Ronaldo was evident in his copied celebrations, trademark poses, and the fact that he trained alongside him and even scored his first senior goal from a Ronaldo assist. However, somewhere along his journey, he mistakenly conflated adopting Ronaldo's swagger with embodying his true essence. He possessed Ronaldo's aura, his flair for big moments, and certainly his ego. But he lacked the fundamental qualities that defined Ronaldo's greatness. Ronaldo's legendary work ethic, for instance, saw him as the first to arrive at training and the last to leave. Garnacho, by contrast, frequently struggled with punctuality, often strolling in as if he owned the place. Ronaldo dedicated 2 decades to meticulously reinventing his body and game to remain at the pinnacle. Garnacho, it seemed, won 1 Puskás award and considered his work complete. Moreover, Garnacho lacked Ronaldo's selflessness. Despite his ego, Ronaldo consistently delivered for his team in crucial moments, boasting over 900 goals and more than 300 recorded assists. Garnacho, it appears, delivered primarily on Instagram. The most critical distinction lies in their self-perception. Ronaldo is his own fiercest critic, driven by an insatiable desire to be the best. Every missed opportunity haunts him. Every defeat fuels him. This relentless pursuit of excellence is what earned him the right to his ego, which he consistently validated for over 2 decades. Garnacho, conversely, appears to be his own biggest admirer. When Ronaldo faced criticism, he responded with hat tricks. When Garnacho is criticized, he resorts to cryptic Instagram stories, or his brother steps in to defend him. When Ronaldo was dropped, he redoubled his efforts. When Garnacho was benched for the Europa League final, he sulked on the sidelines, arrived late for warm-ups, and vented on social media. Ronaldo left Manchester United because he sought to compete for titles that the club could no longer offer. Garnacho departed because his manager explicitly told him to pray he could find another club willing to take him. The talent is undeniably present. It always has been. Winning the Puskás Award, scoring in an FA Cup final, or being called up to Argentina's World Cup squad are not accidental achievements. Yet, talent devoid of discipline is merely entertainment, and entertainment alone does not yield trophies. Ronaldo forged a lasting legacy through sheer obsession. Garnacho, however, is accumulating a Wikipedia page filled with avoidable controversies. At just 22, Alejandro Garnacho has already played for 3 clubs in 5 years. He has been dropped, exiled, advised to seek a new team, sold to a rival for half his perceived value, and booed by his own fans on 2 occasions. The underlying explanation has consistently been his attitude. What some once deemed harsh judgment now appears to be prophetic insight. Garnacho aspired to be the next Cristiano Ronaldo, but he neglected the most vital component, the relentless work ethic. The question now is straightforward. Can Alejandro Garnacho reverse this trajectory? He still possesses the time and the talent, along with a significant platform at Chelsea that many players would covet. One can only hope he recognizes this soon enough to fully realize his immense potential.